Hey, shalom, shalom. It's falling Yeshua. Welcome again to the Rock. First thing I want to say is there will be no live streaming tonight. And the reason why is because in my last video I said that I suggested that men turn the internet off, turn social media off for the week, or for the weekend, for the Shabbat. Spend the time with your family. Spend the time with your children. Spend the time with your wife. Spend that time studying with them, talking with them, fellowshipping with them. A lot of men, a lot of you are taken away from your families, from the responsibility that you have of teaching your children and teaching your wives. It's taken away from you. All week you work, then on Shabbat you sit your children and your family in front of another man. When do you sit down and actually have that study? When do you sit down? When does your wife look at you as the priest of the home, the head of the home, the teacher of the home? When do your children ever look at you as the teacher, as the head of the home? What happened? What did we used to do before the internet? Before everyone went on to internet church? What did people do then? They probably taught their families, and they fellowship with other families, and they, the children would go outside and play with other children. Oh, your children played in the Shabbat. How do you think that children fellowship everybody? I mean, Shabbat's a day of rest, and the children get the opportunity to go fellowship with other children, other like-minded children. I know some of y'all are, in the old ways where you sit your children in church with you for 3 or 4 hours, and if they got up or they started squirming, you got angry with them because they're supposed to be able to sit there for 3 hours and not move. Otherwise, they're undisciplined or some mess like that. Anyways, that kind of goes into the video that I wanted to do here is, brother, stop banging on your families. Like, some of y'all be like thug thizzling and like y'all gang banging on your family. These churches, these ministries have given you the perception that your family's your enemy. And this is what these churches kind of give you the perception of. I know what the Bible says, everybody, but these churches give you the perception that women are wicked, children are a burden, extended family, just pagans and heathens. So the only place you have to turn is them. They have you judging your family, judging your wife, judging your children with you literally are over them like a taskmaster, reigning and ruling in fear. How many brothers have gone in the churches with families, and now they ain't got their family no more? How many brothers have gone in the churches with resources, with things, with order in their home, and they leave without it? Because the church's order was more important than what the Bible says. You have this perception that you have to run around with a damn 2x4. If your wife dares say something to you that you felt was not right, you can't just go and talk to her. You can't go and correct her. You can't do that. You have to doggone damn near drop kick her. Your children don't have an authentic relationship with Yah. Your sons don't have an authentic relationship with y'all because all you ever do, and I understand, spare the rod, spoil the child. I understand all that. I understand, men rule their house. We have to rule our house. But let me ask you a question. What does ruling your house look like when your house is falling apart? Your house, your home is not the military, brothers. Your house, your home is not your favorite, if you played sports, these aren't your teammates like you would see it in sports. And I played sports, so I understand. I'm speaking from things that I understand. You come into your home and, you were a team captain on a college basketball team, and you come in and start ruling it like, ruling your family like it's a basketball team. Sad. So you got brothers, damn near thugging on their families. And these camps and these ministries and churches teach this shit. And then when you run your family off, when you divorced your family, divorced your wife, kicked your children to the curb, and now you're reaping the consequences of dealing treacherously with your wife, and in her anger, because she loved you. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes these women don't. And a lot of times these women don't. But if you got one that's been loyal to you, that's been following you, that you've been married to, and you present something new to her, like the faith, like anything, sometimes you're gonna have to, hey, let them know, like, hey, we making this move. I'm letting you know we're making this move, but I want to give you some transition time. Some of y'all getting some bad marital advice. You can rule and run your house, but the Bible says give honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel. Not give honor to the wife as your homeboy. Thus we cast our wives aside and cast our children aside so that we can look good for the pastor. We can look good for the church. Now, this is not for wicked women. This conversation we're having is not for wicked women. It's not for a woman that's rebellious and disobedient. We're not talking about that type of person. We're not talking about that sort of person. I've seen countless brothers lose their wife because their pastor calls her wicked. Because let's say the brother and his wife, he has no problem if she takes the ATM card and goes and buys something. See, the pastors and elders, they don't believe in that. So they tell you that you're weak and you're letting her rule and reign over you, and you're letting her have authority she shouldn't have over your finances. She can tear your house up, although she's already proven that that's not her goal. That's not what she does. She has taken and she has consistently been a blessing to you. But hey, because your pastor said it. Now you go ripping everything. Hey, you have an order for your home. Let me tell you something, brothers. The order in your home, the order is the same. It's Yah, Yeshua, man, wife, children. But how you run your house is going to be different than mine. It should be different than mine. Iron sharpens iron. When iron sharpens iron, that means there must be friction. That means there's going to be some friction. So, as brothers, we have iron sharpens iron. There's going to be friction between us, and then when there's friction between us, we both get sharper. But you can't sharpen yourself on your wife. Thus, your house is going to be ran a little bit differently because your wife is different than mine. I am different than you, brother. We all have the same law, Yah's law, the Torah, but it's going to be different. You got men changing every last part of their house to try and make their house look like the pastors, the elders, the guy on YouTube's house. Brother, stop banging on your wife. She's not a gang member with you. Nourish, cherish. Nourish, cherish. Prune when you need to, so that there may be more growth and that she may bear fruit. You need to learn to prune. And if the tree does not bear fruit, then if you need to remove the tree because it is simply taking away, then you have to do what you have to do. But too many of y'all listen to your pastor tell you to divorce your wife. And you go off and divorce your wife. Get rid of those children. Y'all will give you somebody new. Meanwhile, here you are, still desolate. And all you needed to do was work with her. Give her some time. Some of y'all getting rid of wives that are benefits to you. Some of y'all, I would like my wife to be like Sister T or Sister Taylor or Sister Ebony. Well, that took work. And believe me, I still have to prune, nourish, cherish. I still gotta do it. But bang on your wife and your children ain't it. Your children need to see examples of what marriage is supposed to look like. They're supposed to see good examples, and most children today have never seen a good example of a marriage. Ever. What most of us have learned is what not to do in a marriage, what we don't want in our spouse and our husband or our wife, but we don't know what we do necessarily want. We haven't seen that example. Do not listen to these camps and churches and all these people talking about how you need to bang and thug thizzle and on your family, brothers. You're supposed to be that. Yah gave you them. Nourish them, cherish them, teach them. They should look to you, not to another man. They're teaching that the nutrients that your family needs comes from you. Yah gave you the authority. Love them like you have that authority. Care for them like he gave you that authority. Prune when need to. Water. Damn it, you better love them. Too many of our children are going through life unloved. Too many wives, too many husbands. Now, speaking specifically to the men, because in our live streams we've been getting on the women. But too many of our wives and too many of our children go through life not even knowing that you love them. When's the last time you told them you loved them? I don't feel like I have to do that. I don't need to. Yeah, you should probably stop listening to those people that are telling you that. Because you need to know what your wife needs to grow. And is it really hurting you to tell her that you love her? Is it really hurting you, or do you feel less of a man because you told your wife that you are thankful for her? Do you feel like a pussy because you told your wife that you care for her? That you thank her? Yeah, you feel so weak, huh? Nah. I have the authority in my house from the top to the bottom. And I tell my family I love them. Children, I love them. Wives, I love them. And I don't give a damn if somebody comes to me and tells me, "Oh, I think you a simp." It's funny. It's funny hearing somebody who ain't got a family because they let their pastor take it away call me a simp. Bless y'all. I hope you're having a blessed 6th day and have a blessed Shabbat. I will see y'all next week on the next live stream. Not today, but next week. But I will definitely be having more videos coming out next week. Bless y'all. Shalom.